So Cal-Hafa, which is a state agency that we traditionally use for our regular down payment assistance, majority of the time, it's normally the 3-pack. So they came out with this new program that we had training, and then a week later it rolled out. So it's $300 million, 150 this year, 150 next year was originally the way they had it set up. They're doing it at releasing it in $50 million increments, supposedly, but now I'm already hearing that 100 million of the 150 is already spoken for. So who knows if that's a rumor or not. They have run into some issues on this because you have to have a special training, HUD counseling, because normally on a down payment assistance, you do have to have a HUD counselor. Well, because this is a 20% shared appreciation program, you had to have an additional counseling session. Well, because they advertised it so well, people that were not even in contract went in and took up all of the appointments for the counseling. And so now people that are in contract have counseling appointments in June. So that was the catastrophe that was happening yesterday. We're now hearing that they're adding additional resources to get that counseling done, but we just don't know how quick it's going to happen. I have a client that got into contract yesterday, but it's a 17-day escrow. And so they had to scramble to try to come up with 10% down, which still allowed them to qualify. So the program's a good program. I mean, the 20% is a loan. Okay, so everyone's saying it's a grant, it's a loan. Up to 20% towards closing costs and down payment. If you, so you can have no mortgage insurance. And then there's also the shared appreciation component that happens when you sell, or if you try to refinance, you'd have to pay back the 20%. And if you sell, there's a shared appreciation. It's 25, depends on your income, 20 to 25% of the appreciation would go back to Cal-Hafa. Clear as mud.
So ultimately though, I mean, if you buy a house, 500,000 and you get 100,000, which is the 20%, right? And you go buy 100,000, you're giving up 20 grand.
Right.
So if you go from 500 to 600, you're only giving up 20,000. It's not like you're giving up 20% on the entire property, which don't get me wrong, 20 grand is still a lot, but if I gain 100,000 in equity, 20,000 is a small portion because I didn't have to pay on that 100 grand for however long it was, right?
Exactly. You have to pay it back as part of your sale, but you're correct. And there is no simple interest or anything on that. It just sits there until it's ready to go. One last thing on refinancing. I've heard people say, well, they said you could refinance. Well, you have to have that 20%, you have to pay back the money, right? And so they're saying on a case-by-case basis, they may allow that money to be subordinated, but you have to make 12 payments. And so we have no idea what that's going to look like 12 months from now. So I've been telling clients, buyer beware, you may not be able to refinance. Although the rates are really good on this program.
Are they really?
Yeah. I mean, it has to be conventional, and a regular conventional loan with someone with an 800 credit score is in the mid 7s. The rate yesterday when I looked to lock it, 6%.
Oh.
Yeah. So, I mean, you have to pay 2.25. So that's part of your closing costs, right? You're paying points for the program, just like any down payment assistance program. But 6%, better than the poke and eye with the sharp stick.
True.
So.
All right.
Any questions on that? And if you need clarification on a specific scenario, call me.